Dollywood, located in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. What makes Dollywood so special? Some say that it is a haven, a mecca, if you will. Others, it's a vacation spot. Dollywood was created to give recognition to the great Dolly Parton. Her music is timeless, and her contribution is legendary. I would say what makes Dollywood so special is the food. Today, we are cooking a recipe out of the unofficial Dollywood cookbook, the one and only Nashville Hot Chicken Sliders. Welcome to Tasty Tunes. Thank you for joining us this week in Tasty Tunes, where we are making these Nashville Hot Chicken Sliders from the unofficial Dollywood cookbook. There were a couple of steps that I did do prior to filming this. The first part of the recipe calls for putting the chicken into a gallon bag with 1.5 cups of buttermilk, 2 teaspoons cayenne pepper, half teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of black pepper, and then gently shaking that into the bag and letting it sit overnight. After it sat in the fridge overnight, I took the chicken out, and then I pat it dry and applied 2 teaspoons of salt and a half teaspoon of black pepper. Then I let it sit on the counter for about 20 minutes. After that, we have our other ingredients. We have some cornstarch in a small, shallow container, flour, and that flour is going to get mixed with 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, 2 teaspoons of paprika, and then 2 teaspoons of salt and 2 teaspoons of black pepper. We mix that together. I did have a little too much flour for this dish, but I do think it helps with cutting back some of the heat of the actual chicken sandwich itself, as I'm not one for spicy chicken. Next, we have our egg wash, which we are going to take an egg and 1 cup of buttermilk, some hot sauce, and we're going to whisk those together. A little fun fact about Dolly Parton: she's known for songs like Jolene, 9 to 5, Coat of Many Colors, but few people know that in the 90s she actually recorded a cover of a Collective Soul song called Shine. Her cover of that song is what pushed Collective Soul to the top of the alternative charts for that song. If it hadn't been for the one and only Dolly Parton, Collective Soul wouldn't be the band that you know them as today. Now we want to take this chicken and dredge it in the cornstarch, making sure to take off any excess of the cornstarch. We're then going to take that, put it into our egg batter. We're going to get it nice and coated, take some of that excess off, and then we're going to go ahead and dip it into that flour. Make sure we get that nice and coated on there. That's going to be the base that gives it that nice golden crispy flake that you want in that breading. And then after we finish dredging this chicken, we're going to throw it in the fryer and we're going to let it cook on a pan, medium heat, for 7 minutes on each side. And there you have it, the one and only Nashville Hot Chicken Sliders from Dollywood itself. I think this is a really cool, special recipe that really brings out the charm that Tennessee has to offer, especially Dollywood. And now we're going to go ahead and cut this open, and we're going to give it a little taste test. I did add pickles to the sandwich because it just seemed fitting for a chicken sandwich to have pickles. I did not do anything special to the bun on this. This is just a traditional slider bun. I will tell you that the heat did come through on the back end of this sandwich, but I think by having too much flour, I was able to reduce some of that heat. If you follow the recipe exact, I think it's going to be a little hotter than mine was, but I will say the sandwich is delicious. It was moist. It had a nice crunch to it, and I think it would be a delight if you're just trying to entertain some guests and kind of give some of that charm of music knowledge to your guests. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and this has been Tasty Tunes.